Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios. The Women African Cup of Nations, it's now in its final four. The Super Falcons of Nigeria, the Banyana of South Africa, the Atlas Lionesses of Morocco, and of course, the Black Queens of Ghana. Four of the best team on the continent will now fight for who plays in the final come Saturday. For Nigeria, first and foremost, I must sincerely apologize to every lover of the Super Falcons. I sat here and wowed my mouth to say the Copper Queens of Zambia will humiliate Nigeria by 3-1. But after 20 minutes, I was humiliated. I was shocked. My hands were pressing in joy while I was pain in my heart. But it was the Falcons who told me to shut up, and it was Madugu who told me to congratulate him. Onkani Sam and the Bishop joined me as we look at the semi-final pairings for the Women's African Cup of Nations that will be played on Tuesday. And of course, also cast our mind back to what we saw in a fantastic quarterfinal match involving Nigeria and the Copper Queens of Zambia. Guys, the semi-final is set. It is Nigeria, South Africa, and it's Morocco up against the Black Queens of Ghana. But before we go to the semi-final proper, it's impossible. It is preposterous. It is unforgiving not to talk about the 5-star performance of Africa's most decorative national team. Talking about the Super Falcons of Nigeria. 5-0 against a Barbara Banda. They banded her like Band A here in Nigeria. And ensure they milked everything out of her to defeat them. Onkani Sam,
they made her stay
at the start of the competition, you were not a fan, you were not watching. But when you watched the quarterfinals, when you watched the last group stage match?
That group stage, yeah.
You were sure these girls were not cut out for it. You were certain
too disjointed.
They were too disjointed. You even asked whether they were coached. I know, I'm using your right word. Yeah. Whether they were coached or did they have a mental block?
Oh, there was an imposition.
Or there was exactly on the team. But with what you saw against Zambia, it was not just the scoring. You know, if it is the scoring, you could say the scoring was flattering to deceive.
Yeah.
It was the performance.
That was a team. That was a team performance.
Yeah, it was arguably one of the best I've seen of any Nigerian side in a very long time.
I mean, you know, the last game of the group stage, sterile like Rockstar. It was an eyesore watching that game. Fact, I'm not going to take my work back because if you watch that game twice, you believe with me. I mean, you agree with me, not believe with me per se. Then fast forward to that game. And because of that, we have a lot of doubt. And not just you have doubt too. We said, look, against a Banda and Rachel Kundenaji, two girls that actually scored 6 goals. We say, come on, they're not going to do anything. And our issue back then was not even, look, okay, fine. They were not losing with the strike performance. They were not playing what we expected. With the lackluster performance, they were not losing, but they were not playing like a team. They were not playing like a team. So that was our biggest issue here. It's not the fact that they were losing because as at the end they've scored 5 goals. 5 goals. 4 goals. 5 goals. The first game was 4-0, I think.
3-0.
Okay, 3-0, 1-0. Yeah. So they're yet to concede. Then we're like, come on, it's fine. They're not conceding, but they're not playing very well. But watching them on Saturday, come on, it was a delight. First 2 minutes.
On Friday.
That free kick.
On Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Watching them on Friday, it was a delight. First 2 minutes. That free kick. Then Ohale, I didn't know when I screamed and shouted and I tweeted, oh, Ohale. Then the gameplay generally. I mean, this is what we're talking about. Look, see, it's not about winning at times. Entertain us. Yeah, we are there for the winning. I understand that, yeah. And we know there is a price at stake, right? But entertain us. And that's what we're talking about. Play like a team. We have the players. Come on now. If a country of almost 200 million people cannot bring out 11 players that can play decent football, that's decent female football, then there's a problem. And that was the biggest issue that day. And guess what he did for us? Look, the criticism is enough. Probably I'm saving my base for the last. I think that's what he did.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Come on, that was a 5-star performance. Amazing performance. I think we're on course for a golden mission X. We're on course for a golden mission. Because the beautiful thing here is this. The team we're going to play next is either win them or we lose. Now, if we don't, because they are the strongest in competition.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately for us, we're playing the strongest 2 African teams in this competition. Zambia is strong. South Africa is strong. Now, if you can do that and keep a clean sheet, come on. I think we're done and dusted. Because beyond those 2 teams,
before you speak, just to cast our mind back to when we did the preview for the quarterfinal games, and of course, Shekari and Babatunde clearly said that something must be changed. Ijami Lucy had to come out, and that was the name that was mentioned, when we spoke, and somehow maybe the coach stumbled on the video, and the Jam Lucy started.
Yeah.
And we saw a different midfield. Like I always said, I am a huge fan of Deborah Abiodun, but there's nothing about a footballer who is not disciplined. And I will not take the balls back. You cannot tell me that as a defensive midfielder in a tournament, you are getting yellow cards back to back. Then you come off the bench.
As you get
in another game, no, you don't get a yellow card. And then you are tackling like
you almost got a red card. Yeah,
come on. Anyway, and the coach did what was right.
Let me
bring in the Jamie Lucy,
and
we saw a different midfield.
Let's flash back. I'll take you back years back because maybe Nkana cannot go with me, but you can go with me. So a few years back when Madugu managed a game at the national stadium in Abuja, and
we played against I think Zambia also.
We won by 4 goals to name, and I said, "Give this man this job." Remember, I said it vividly. I was kept on saying it, but also, no, this is man. I said, "Give him the job." No, he reminded me of how we used to play when we were in dominance. When we were winning the WAFCON with ease. They were scoring goals with ease. We were playing some great kind of football, and they were free flowing. Fast forward to the first game at the WAFCON, when he had a chance to prove everybody right, he just threw my words to the ground, and I became scared for my life.
If the first game was not enough, fast forward to the third game.
It was a disaster in the making. I almost wept. I'm that emotional when it comes to the Nigerian games, and then quarterfinal, and I liked it. I was my man. This was the Madugu I saw the first day I watched him in Abuja. They were direct. They had a plan. He knew that the Zambians are not very good when it comes to the long ball. He went for the long ball. He knew that aerially we were very solid. We would control. He went for the area ball. And when they tried to just what he did was cut the service to
the woman marked.
2 players was always on Richard and Brabanda, and they were not and void. So they just cut off the supply. They became anonymous, and then Nigeria began to score the goals, and the goals became to come in numbers. And I sat down with this place. After the second game, and I said, "Is this man playing games with us? Is he not watching the same games that we are watching?" Because when I watched those games, there were some players that should not be in the starting lineup, and I said, "Kudos." I remember my word. I don't take that back. I said, "Thank you." I said, "For what you've done for Nigerian football, but this hard time you need to sit on the bench and lead from the bench, and I'll give these young lads chance to play." I called Jamie Lucy. I called about Esther Okoronkwo beginning the games. I talked about Chegini. I know Chegini didn't start, but at least you saw the fact that he made 2 changes and looked like it was a brand new team all over again. So for me, this is the best performance we've seen from Nigeria. And if they replicate this performance against South Africa, I don't think South Africa can hold them because I've watched South Africa play in the tournament so far.
Flat.
They're absolutely shambolic. They don't look like the team we saw.
Linda Mloto struggling.
Sepuzenzwe suffering. Jani Rafael suffering.
Their best player, I think their best is Dlamini, the
goalkeeper.
That's been their best player.
Your best player, but there's a problem. The reason why they are in this qualifier because goalkeeper made saves against Senegal. So for me, I would say it clearly. If we keep our philosophy right, play the right players, put square pegs in square holes, round pegs in round hole. See, Nigerian fans were elated. I was getting pictures from somebody, government officials, because they were all over the place. Oh, what a team! They could play like this. But I knew they could play like this. But the selection was wrong, was off. So can they please keep the selection for us at least to after the WAFCON? And then
you don't change your winning formula. No, you don't change the team that wins.
It's not broken. Don't fix it.
Yeah, it's not broken. Don't fix it.
I hope that like you saw the last one and brought in the Jamie Lucy, we get to see another compact side, but not to, of course. It was 2 different game plans.
Game plan, yeah.
The Zambians, we know their strength.
Yeah.
The strength of the Zambians are the players up front.
Absolutely.
Got the supply up front. And we must say massive kudos to Chinwendu Ihezuo.
What a player.
I think
what a player.
Ever since she's coming
particularly too.
No, I'm looking at Chinwendu Ihezuo from the front line. This is why.
Okay, yeah.
Athleticism, clinical, does the job
Physical.
when she needs to do the job.
Yeah.
And it just for Jamie Lucy, the goal crowned out a fantastic performance. One of the very silent. And also to Rasheedat Ajibade, I think she stepped up to criticism.
Oh yes,
she was not the best player we expected her to be, but she stepped up
a bit better
against the Zambians, and she showed why she was the captain of the side.
She led,
and all of that. She led by good example, and all of that. And Esther Okoronkwo, I think you cannot wax literally for me the best player in this tournament
so far
by miles, by
so
country
far.
miles.
So far,
4 assists already and 1 goal in just 4 games.
Everything she
it just tells you
gold.
How good
this
she
is a player
is.
who sat on the bench for the first 2 games. Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Only Madugu can explain. When other quarterfinals games saw the Black Queens of Ghana advance on penalty shootout to the semifinals, a good one for the Ghanaian girls. I'm particularly happy for Ghana. I think it's been a long time coming. That country don't suffer.
They suffer a lot.
They don't suffer well in women football.
Against Algeria, right?
I'm happy for them against Algeria. But for Senegal, I feel sad for Senegal because I expected them to give South Africa a run for their money.
They did.
And they did, but When it got to penalties,
Yeah.
they became naive.
Just remind me of what I saw.
Naive, extremely naive. Those were terrible penalties.
Just remember what I saw in England versus Sweden.
Yes, in the
That's
Sweden,
crazy.
everyone about France and against Germany.
No, I'm talking about England,
France-
Sweden,
yeah,
France.
England,
Penalty.
Sweden, same thing.
Look at Rhys
France-
James.
France should
I
have
said
won
Rhys
that.
James. Florian
Florian
James playing
James.
penalty like
it's
somebody
so
who
bad.
wants to pass to a granny at
thing
home.
is this, right?
You know?
In as much as we are
Is
progressing,
it
I think
pressure? You know, there was a question I was asking about the penalties in the why because if you let no further bring the Euros into this one now, both the Euros and the AFCON, so many players being missed. Is it that we're having better goalkeepers, or the pressure is not getting a toll on this
no,
player?
come on, they're playing bad penalties. So come on, not pressure. They just don't know how to.
Also,
do this.
they are
Simple.
bad penalties.
Bad
Let's
penalties.
say it.
Let's put it. You know, it's not good goalkeepers. You know, some of those penalties will not even go to the
Terrible,
goalkeeper.
right?
You understand?
The
They're
goalkeepers are not doing much.
much now.
They're only moving 2 steps. You won't catch Messi penalty, you go fly 4 times. I'm not trying to compare
Yeah, men and
men
women,
and women football, but
Yeah.
come on,
But come
poor
on.
penalties.
I mean, that explains why things are the way they are. So I mean, looking at the gameplay generally, because I watched a little of Senegal, sorry, Ghana, Algeria. Come on, the
yes.
Euros. I watch a lot of games in Europe. I watch Germany, France. I watch
watched a
this.
lot of their games
Yeah, I
as
watch a
well.
lot of that game. A bit better. We can't compare the
No,
AFCON
we
with
can't.
Fast.
fast.
Let's
We
not go
can't.
there.
Yeah, so let's not
Technically,
even go there completely. And I think that's where I'm coming from. I think we're developing at a snail speed.
Okay,
The performance where some SNI saw.
for a quarterfinal, right?
You look at these girls playing. I mean, some of these country playing as if they're not professional enough.
And one of them have professional players playing abroad.
That is it.
Is it the coaching problem right now, or the player, or the gelling? Because you know, this English play,
Well,
the foreign team have got time to play.
well,
They play friendly games.
I feel-
Like for the Super Falcons, they had
I
no
feel-
friendly game the whole of last year.
I feel this WAFCON has a lot of new players. I think that's
Okay.
what they're fixing.
Yeah,
AFCON,
it's
yeah.
true,
A lot of new players that have not played in this competition before.
Yeah.
The
So
Nigerian team went with 13 debutants.
You can, so
Imagine
imagine other countries. If Nigeria is going with 13 debutants, imagine other countries. Probably you could get a country that will go with as much as probably 15,
Yeah,
16
because if you are
debutants.
playing your debutant,
You understand?
you're going with the entire debut.
So a lot of. So the quality of gameplay generally is a bit on the low. I wouldn't call it poor because I would sound very, very harsh calling it poor. Yeah, but a bit on the low. And that explains why CM is supposed to be a walk in the park for us. Because whether you like it or not, pound for pound,
quality we
player,
have,
we have
yes.
quality.
Pound for pound, we're far ahead.
I mean, check out that face goal. Check out that free kick. Check out the goal.
Quality. Look at the
Proper
header.
standard goal.
World class.
Proper goal, world-class goal.
Well,
One of those goals that probably should be up there for probably nomination for
Puskas.
if they have anything like
goal of the
Puskas.
tournament. No,
Goal of
goal of
tournament.
tournament.
Puskas,
Puskas is a long way. Now let's go to semi-final proper, guys. Nigeria versus South Africa, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Nigerian time.
Yeah.
A big cracker. The South Africans, of course, are Nigeria.
A big cracker.
Yeah, it is because
Not really. Well, probably because of mentality, right?
defending
They
Because
believe-
champions-
Nigeria's
defending champions
perennial champions.
versus
perennial
perennial
champions.
champions.
Yeah.
You cannot take it away.
That's the biggest game.
Desiree Ellis, one of the best
Most-
coaches
in
in women's football in Africa, against, of course,
I think the only
Madugu,
reason why she
who
has
also
not,
want to make a name
the
for
reason
himself.
why Aries has not left Africa because they're not better off us. You know,
In Europe, probably, right?
You get a woman who should have left by now because the all issues around the payment and everything. But anyway, like
On
you
the
said,
field of play.
Medugu, it's not. I think the person under pressure is the Israelis. I think she's
defending champion. Yeah.
and anything beyond the victory
So more
is
is
a step
expected.
down. Exactly. Medugu is about building a name for himself. He's been playing second fiddle for a very long time. I think for so many managers, he's been assistant manager for them, and he wants to become the real deal. He wants to tell you, "I am in charge. I want to win it." And anytime he speaks, you see the fire in his eyes, you see the passion in his eyes. You know, but it tells a lot of stories. So I think it's gonna be a tough game. I know. No game is the same. So if Nigeria is
But there are easy games.
if Nigeria,
Believe me, there are
those
easy
games,
games.
there
are easy games.
I still believe there are still minnows in football. I know you may not believe that. I said that a lot of
Particularly
times.
female football, there are a lot of minors.
Even male football, yeah. If you get
San
me
Marino.
San Marino, and I'll tell you that there are minnows in football. But the truth remains, guys. I think Nigeria should have enough in the
I
kit
mean,
to-
so you say,
to get past South Africa.
just show me to cut you short a little. You said that I know this, and how comes a team from
I
Auckland
said, I
is
still
conceding
think
10 goals?
I still think they are
In
minnows. I
yeah,
still
no, of
think
course,
they
no,
are-
said- no, he
I'm
said-
trying to tell him now, just trying to
No,
affirm what you
they're not
said.
a football team. They're
So that I mean-
professional football side.
So
But
at
this is
the
it.
end of the day, man, I think Nigeria should get
When
enough-
Nigeria met
enough
South
power.
Africa
Yeah.
at the last Women African Cup of
They beat
Nations in the opening game, remember that game where they beat Nigeria by
2-1.
goal, was it by 2 goals to 1?
2 goals to 1,
In the
got-
opening game.
Scored twice first, then
at
came from
the
They
behind.
went
Women
down to
African
beat
Cup of
us in the
Nations.
opening game.
And that's the only
2018,
now,
they beat us again 1-0 in the opening
yeah,
game.
and that's the only times that South Africa and
beaten
those
us
two
twice,
games are
yes.
beating us
Opening
in the
games.
competition. However, they've never beaten Nigeria in the
Knockout
knockout
stage.
phase
Never.
of a women.
But it's not about the
African
knockout
Cup of
phase, right?
Nations.
It's about the reality on ground, right? I mean, I'm not looking at the knockout phase. We were harsh, we were critical
Yeah.
the other time because of what we saw.
And they stepped up.
Now the game has changed, and you're as good as your last game.
Yes, that's
Based
good.
on the last game, bro, there's no base for comparison. I expect it to be a walk in the park. I expect it to be a street win for us. Until it happens otherwise, right for now. Fact, because come on, you're as good as
I
your last
agree.
game.
Yeah.
You are good. You are
That's
good.
the
If
rule,
I'm going
yeah.
to talk about Nigeria right now, I'm not going to talk about that time apart from
That's
the last
the
game.
game, yeah.
That 5 goals that he scored, that everybody's
buzzing, yeah.
cheering. So going by what we saw the last time, come on, it's not a brain. I mean, it's a no-brainer for me completely. The reason why we are doubtful, the reason why we said the things we said before the quarterfinal game is because of what we saw.
Yeah.
Now we've seen something different. So I think it's no much something positive about it. Look, I don't even expect them not just to win that game. I mean, they should go all the way and probably win the championship. It should be a thumping. I'm going for a 3 goals. Fact.
I think we win convincingly. I don't fast South Africa. I think they're ordinary. They don't look like the only player who like give us a play was Kaglana because of her speed. She could just run past them, but fortunately for us, she's not there. So for me, I can't fathom. I don't say anything less than a win for Nigeria. Anything less than a win for Nigeria is a bad result. Well, I don't even say a penalty. I don't say extra time. I don't know why.
Well, the guy, you want to add something to it?
No, I mean, anything less than a 3 win for me is even a lose technically, if you ask me. It's a lose technically. Anything less than 3 goals. Because, come on.
Where did they see this confidence from, I beg? When they said this confidence, where these guys, they use say we go try South Africa.
Of course.
But I also agree. I think you're as good as your last game. And what the Falcons displayed against Zambia. See, if South Africa and Zambia had met at this competition, I will put my money on Zambia. I will not put my money on South Africa.
I think so.
I think the Mali game flattered the South Africans and I felt that there was something extremely good about them. But we must also remember, South Africans have only considered just once at this competition also. There is scoring side.
How many Zambians considered before they made us?
Those Zambians are considered. They draw close. They considered 3 against Senegal. They like to score.
3-2, 4-3.
I think considered 2 against Morocco, 3 against Senegal. They don't have a problem with
at least South Africa has considered one. We've not conceded.
Yeah, so like I said,
we're still better.
And the team that scored them was a surprise, Tanzania. And the team Tanzania pushed South Africa to the wall in that game before they got that 1-0 result. So I think for me, Super Falcons, like you guys rightly said, are poised to win. I won't sit on the fence with this one. I would boldly say it that the Falcons are very in good condition to go on to win.
I wonder why your crystal ball choose to act differently this time around.
No.
The other time the crystal ball acted different.
Exactly.
No. When I mean the World Club now, when me and you were waxing about,
the Club World Cup, I was
your
sure.
crystal ball said this was gonna happen. It happened. I'm surprised.
This one, I've looked at South Africa play. And I've looked at Super Falcons play. There's nothing special about South Africa.
Nothing
In fact, I think the Israelis wants to get this tournament done with and move on with her life.
She's tired of all the whole...
Win or lose, I think
she's fine.
She's fine. So she's done what nobody has done before. She's won them the WAFCON.
Never before.
And to be honest, it might not happen in the next few years because Morocco is a force.
Yeah, right now.
Morocco is a force. And they are coming in strongly. They've invested money.
No, that's
They've invested in infrastructure.
They've
invested a lot.
Over the past 3 years, they've invested so much in sport generally. In sport generally, not just in football. In sport generally, they've invested so much.
Team like that, they will come strong.
I mean, I was even saying
Tanzania is also coming as a force.
Yeah,
Senegal is now coming. Now look at Senegal, for example. They've gradually come into football. Remember, the Senegalese team at some point were under 17 men's boys champion, under 20 boys champion, and Chan champions.
Yes.
And of course, they were the main team champions, AFCON champions.
And then the girls returned back
and
to
then
the
the teams
AFCON.
and now doing so well. So that's a nation that is constantly progressing in football system, and all of that. But we hope we get it right. We hope we get it right because it's very powerful that the Nigerian sports women's national team also go on to win it. So my money is on the Super Falcons. When the other semi-final, we'll see host nation Morocco take on Ghana. Just your predictions for that game.
Morocco Ghana. Morocco is going to be home. Morocco have all the home support, and Morocco looks a bit decent. Not better than what I saw during the last WAFCON. We're not too better, not too better. But
the same coach.
There's more, but there's more self-belief. There's more self-belief. No, there's more self-belief right now. That's number one. Then number 2, there's more awareness. So you have a lot of Moroccans coming out to watch them. A lot of Moroccans. Stadium is always jam-packed.
I think the Moroccan team I saw last year was defensively better than what I'm saying this year. Merici looks like he's out of herself than what we saw 2 years ago. So what I think Morocco would win, but very slim victory. They look like they will concede 2-1 win for Morocco.
2-1 win for Morocco.
Well, a victory for Morocco, but I wouldn't put a particular number. You understand? A victory for Morocco, because number one, the home advantage. Like I said, number 2, they're just conscious. See, the motivation alone is enough for Morocco to win this game.
Absolutely.
They've been look. Do you watch their game against? Is it Senegal?
No, they played Mali.
No. Was it Mali? Yeah, Mali.
Was it Mali?
Yeah, it was Mali.
Yeah, Mali. Do you watch? I think they won 2-1, right?
2-1, yeah.
They won 2-1. Did you see how packed the stadium was?
Just choked to the brim.
When you get that, you need to.
And that's why I want them to even go to the final, so we beat them in front of their fans. So pay them back. What happened on semi-final?
I don't know. We're not praying for what you might be able to.
Exactly. But I think the Ghanaians are just there. There's nothing spectacular about them.
Like I said, generally,
they will need a big miracle.
A miracle with
and a game beyond Ghanaian imagination to go on to win Morocco. I think semi-final for Ghana is a good outing.
Like I said, generally, right?
They've come well.
I think the female football is growing, but it's growing very, very slow. Very slow.
In Africa.
more than 10 years now, nothing. More than 10 years now, we're yet to win a game in the. Beyond the group stage of any competition in the world. Yeah, no Africa. Okay, I think
No,
the South Africa win.
Africa,
No, they didn't. The last World Cup in New Zealand and Australia.
Both time they qualified.
We couldn't win.
We lost to
England. Lost to England, yeah, and everything. So, but we need more. Sincerely speaking, we need more. I mean, Mutsapi and everything and everybody, come on, put more, do more. Develop continent. Look, what's going on with the women?
CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
Come on, that's just like
There is, but
it can be better.
It can be better. Well, that's it, of course, for the Women African Cup of Nations semi-final preview. Remember, Nigeria take on the Banyana, the girls of South Africa, while Morocco will take on Ghana in the second semi-final. Both semi-final takes place on Tuesday, 5 p.m. for Nigerian time, and of course, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Don't forget to stick around with us for all the juicy content from the Women African Cup of Nations Morocco 2024 happening in 2025. Football Temple brought to you by Alza Studios.